So his extraocular movements are smooth, coordinated, no drift, no nice bigness. And turn the line on, please. Okay, which brings us to cranial nerve 5, the trigeminal nerve, which has 3 branches in it. Okay? So with trigeminal nerve, the first one we want to do is sensory. Okay? So I'm going to have you close your eyes and just tell me now when you feel this.
Now.
Okay? The next thing that we have with this branch is the corneal reflex. And I know one thing we forgot, the musculoskeletal. TMJ. Open your eyes, go from the side. Very double blink reflex. Most people blink just unbelievably. Okay. The other part is the temporal masseter muscle. Okay, getting the strength of that temporal masseter muscle, which is right in here in the TMJ joint, which we didn't assess in the musculoskeletal. When you're doing the TMJ joint, I'm going to do it now, not for this nerve, but I'm just going to do it. What you do is you put your hands on the joint, you have the person open their mouth, shut and close it, please, open and close it. His mouth should open 3 to 4 centimeters. Move it laterally. Okay. There's no clicking, no coughing. Right? And then to resist me, all you do, and this is what you're going to check for this cranial nerve piece, the temporal masseter function. Okay? What I'd like you to do is clench your teeth. And you can feel it. You can feel that muscle right underneath your hands. Okay? So that's what you need to do for the trigeminal. Okay? I'm going to kind of fill in the TMJ. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is the facial, right? Now the facial is responsible, part of it is our taste, we're not testing that. What we want you to look at is facial symmetry and facial movement. So I'd like you to smile. Really show me your teeth. That's good. Puff your cheeks out. Okay. Frown. Close your eyes. Resist me. Okay. Those are the things that you're going to do for the facial. Okay? The next thing that we're going to do is we're not going to test cranial nerve 7, which is the taste, just so you know. We're going to do the hearing, the acoustic, okay? You can do this 2 ways. We're almost done. On the right. You can stand 2 feet behind the person, okay, if you'd like, or you can do this, 2 feet away from the person, okay? Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
I have a whisper here. Hang on. Hang on. Okay.
Yes.
Tell me what I said.
You said A.
Okay, good. And again, over here, 2 feet away.
Yes. You said B.
Very good. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the Weber test, right? We're going to take our vibratory fork, and you really have to really hit this. Okay? And what we're doing is there wants to be, right, equalization of that vibration in both ears. If it lateralizes to one, they have a hearing deficit. So you let me know, okay, if you feel this vibration in both ears. Okay? You feel it in mine. How about you?
Yes.
Okay? So he has no lateralization. All right? That's the correct response for that. The next thing that you're going to do is the Rene test. And this is a test of air conduction to bone conduction, right? The bone conduction is the nerve conduction, the air conduction are those 3 little bones, right? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to measure the bone conduction by placing the tuning fork on the mastoid. You really have to land it. Tell me when you no longer feel this. You time it. Now tell me when you no longer hear it. Okay. So he was 14 seconds for the bone conduction, 28 seconds for the air conduction. So his air conduction is twice as long as his bone conduction. That's normal. Okay? And you do that for both ears. So that's okay. The next thing is obviously the glossopharyngeal and the vagus. The glossopharyngeal is the gag, and I'm not going to gag him. He's been good enough. But you would take the tongue blade into the back of the throat. Okay. And the next thing is if you're going to do the ah, right? What you're doing that for is not to hear the ah. But what you're doing it for is to look at the uvula rise symmetrically. Stick your tongue out. Ah. Okay, I missed that out here. Do this. The uvula rises symmetrically. It's midline. It doesn't deviate. Okay? Now, we're getting there, everybody. Hang tight. Now, also in this system is a bit of musculoskeletal. And what Jody wants you to do here is to just do some general musculoskeletal movements and resistance. So what I'd like you to do now, because see this isn't part of the system normally, so even though you've seen it before, you raise your arms up over your head and back down, back of you. You can stand up. Okay, again, back up, and down. Okay. Let's go sideways this way. Move your leg forward and back. Okay, and then forward and back on the other one when you get done. Okay, good. So I'm just checking his general motor activity. And she also wants you to check general resistance. So you do the same thing again in this system. Resist me. Okay. Resist me. Resist me. Okay, just like I showed you before for the musculoskeletal. Just a general one. Okay? See? Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to assess for balance and coordination. Okay? Stand up again. I'm sorry, I should have had you stand. Okay, what I'd like to do is the Romberg test. So, remember when you're doing the Romberg in real life, you want to guard people because they might fall over on you. Okay, because their balance might be off. What I'd like you to do now is your feet are fairly close together, okay? Okay, shut your eyes, please. Now I'd like you to balance on one foot. Should be able to hold that 20 seconds. Okay, let's try the other one. Okay, okay, good. So he certainly seems to have good balance so far. Now, what I'd like you to do is put it down. Now what I'd like you to do is hold your hands up in front of you like this with your palms up, pronator drift. Shut your eyes, and you're looking for any pronator drift, right? Something like this. You want it to be symmetrical in this one, all right? Now the next thing that we're going to do is tandem gait. I'd like you to walk heel to toe forward and then come back and do it. Okay? So he certainly seems to be pretty coordinated and balanced. Okay, turn around, tandem gait. Laughing, you're good to volunteer for this. Okay? The next thing I'd like you to do is sit here, and I'd like to do the shin test. I'd like you to take your heel, my hands, and I'd like you to drag it from your knee down to your front of your foot. Smooth and coordinated. Smooth and coordinated. Okay? Another thing for coordination that you can do is this. Follow my movements. Okay. He wasn't paying attention to me, that's the problem. Okay. The other thing that you can do is we can do point, right? Point, point. Point to your nose, point to my finger. Point to your nose, point to my finger. Point to your nose, point to my finger. Okay? That can be another one for coordination. All right? Okay. Next thing is sensory. Now, in this category, they decided to have you just do 2. So do whatever you want to do for this. You can do temperature, hot and cold with a test tube, but it's kind of a pain. You can do this, just kind of a superficial sensory. I've already done his face. So, just tell me when you feel this. Just say now.
No. 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 No.
Etc. Okay? Sharp and dull. What I like to tell my patients is, and I should have done this when I did this earlier too, this is sharp, this is dull. Okay?
Sharp, dull, sharp, dull, sharp.
Etc. Okay? Now the other thing is the position sense. Okay? Let me have you do this with the great toe or the hand, whatever you want to use. Shut your eyes. Remember with sensory, you got to have their eyes shut because they'll cheat. Okay, tell me what position I'm putting your foot in.
Flexation, extension, flexation.
And you can do that for any extremity. Okay? Last but not least, vibration sense, where position and vibration. Okay, you can just say he feels it. There's two ways you can do the vibration. Tell me when you feel this. Just say now.
Now,
A more definitive test is this one. Tell me where the vibration is felt on what part of your anatomy.
the big toe, my ankle, my knee, my wrist.
Okay? Okay. Deep tendon reflexes, you only have to do 2 of these. Favorite with reflexes, I hope. Okay. Tricep, right? Bicep, and it's over the tendons you're hitting. Brachioradialis, patellar, right? And the Achilles. Okay. So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to do this one here. See that response? You probably didn't know there. For this one, you really want to let me have it. What do you want to do? I'll do it over here so you can see it. Really let me have it. What you want to do is strike right over the tendon. Brachioradialis, put the arm down like this, just kind of rest it. Oops, sorry. Okay. Patellar, right, usually right down here. See that? What is that response? Okay, I'll keep going higher. Ah! There you go. And the Achilles. You put the foot in the hand, okay? And then you strike the Achilles. Did you feel that?
Yes.
No, I mean, did you feel the twitch, not my head?
No, I totally.
So you just have to pick 2 of those, okay, out of the 5. The patellar's the easiest. And then the last but not least is obviously the Babinski, right? You're going to stroke, right? If this toe fans out this way, right, upward, it's abnormal. He has a normal response. Okay. That's it.